Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Cartes. Thank you very much for joining me. I have a fun project planned for us today. I hope this video inspires you to create something of your own. If you would, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. That helps me to grow this channel and to continue to bring you new projects. If you haven't subscribed yet, would you please consider subscribing? And if you have, thank you very much. Well, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. Hi, it's Jamie. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have a pretty cool project for us today. This one will be for my husband. Some of you may know, and some of you might not know, but we both have YouTube channels, and my husband creates museum quality wooden model ships. And so what I want to do for him is to create some merch, not to sell, but just for him to wear when we're out and about, like when we go to our little curb markets on Saturday morning. So I'm going to start with like a car magnet. This is the size he wanted, and we're going to I created a logo, and so I'm going to use Cricut permanent vinyl for the magnet and get it, and it'll be layered, so that'll be kind of interesting. I've only done a couple of those. And then we're going to create him a shirt. So this is a shirt with a pocket on the front, so I'm going to put some little something here, and then put, you know, you can find me on YouTube or something like that, and put his channel out there so that folks can learn how he's creating these beautiful museum quality pieces. So for this, I am going to use my favorite scissor iron-on vinyl, and I'm kind of mimicking the colors a little bit. I don't really have a brown, but I have this deep coppery color. Let's see, it's called, oh, who knows? Orange. Oh, it's called orange, but it's got a metallic deep brown to it. And then, you know, of course, black and red. So the first thing I want to do is I want to start inside Cricut Design Space. Oh, I do have these. These are my just basic go-tos. So I have a black, a white, and a silver. So if I need that for a background or something, I also have this. And so these are premium. So these aren't iron-on. So they would be more for this over here. Who knows? I might make one for myself. A car magnet? Oh. So I have some shirts. Back in the past, my daughter and I, we used to do lots of craft fairs. And I just love doing that. I love talking to people. That's kind of what my YouTube channel was born out of that. Just the whole idea of helping people learn how to do new things. Because I spent more time talking to folks and telling them and teaching them how to do something than I did selling stuff. So anyways, today we're going to make my husband some merch. And I'll put a link to his channel down there in the description, so that if you or somebody you know is interested in making wooden models, he likes to build, you know, like the old-time large ships, a lot of detail. It would definitely be worth a look. But anyways, let's create this for him today, and ooh, let's see if I can pull this one off. I think I can. All right, we've got a lot to do. Let's go over to Cricut Design Space and get started. I began by going out and finding the designs that I wanted to use, and then I uploaded those into Cricut and then put them onto my canvas. I then used the text box there on the left side and created the verbiage I wanted to use. I sized everything to where I thought it would fit together and look right, and after that, then I was able to create the layout. So after I got all the colors the way that I really wanted them, to mimic what it would look in the final version, I did go in and make everything black, and I did that so that it would all cut out one time on a mat. But then when I cut the vinyl, I cut it to coordinate the colors and then put them in a coordinating position on my mat. One thing to note, like for the magnet, I could cut it as is, but for the decal, for the t-shirt, I had to mirror that file. Alright, you can hear the Cricut going in the background, but let's go ahead and start weeding. This will be our sign, our magnetic sign, and I have all the pieces. Since I wanted different colors, I couldn't really weld them all together, but that's okay. Right now I'm working on the iron-on material, which is a scissor material, and it weeds a lot easier for me. So basically I'm just going to pull off the outside edge that we don't need. So the letters stay behind nicely. Okay. I can always use one of my tools if I need it, but this just pulls off really easy. Just being careful not to tear a letter. I do have an issue. So when I originally made my layout, everything looked great, and I did you saw the picture where I had all the pieces on there, but then when I mirrored it, I had two of the letters overlap. So it was actually the top of the D and the bottom of the J. So what I did is, when I realized that happened and I went to cut out the shirt, the pocket, I went ahead and just cut two more of those letters out. So here's my J. and you can't even tell it. It'll affix the D. So you're able to sort of use this carrier sheet. It has like a little outline print on it, so you can just match up your faux pas fix. So I'm going to get this pretty close so that I can match up this J. So we're going to, and here in an area like this with that E, I could just bring this in. This stuff works pretty well. It does stretch, but it doesn't tear, so it's really easy to work with. And so here is the J that I wonked up, and so I'm going to just, if I use my tool on this, I'm going to come inside and kind of pull it so that I don't mar up like the edge of that letter, because that's one thing it will do. So let's see what I can do. Just really want to leave that where I can line it back up. I'm not going to need the dot. I'll cut the little top dot to that J off. We'll get all these off, and then we'll come back in and replace that J, and then we'll just start working on putting it all together. This whole J, whole bottom half, because what happened is it would have cut out a piece there at the very bottom. So I am just going to replace it. I'm going to show you how easy that is. I'm going to get all these little bits and pieces off, because we're not going to iron any of that on. Tiny little pieces. Alright, so then what I'm going to do, I'm going to literally pull the J off. It's all curly, but that's okay. Because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the outline. Let's see if I can show you. There's a little outline on that carrier sheet. I'm not sure the camera can pick that up. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the bottom and then just lay it down going to the top. So something like that. And there it is. Lines up just right. So there it is. We replaced our J. I love it when it works out like that. Alright. So, this is what the t-shirt will look like on the back. Typically for an adult you want like an 11 by 11, 12 by 12, something like that, for a full design. So it'll look something like this. And I'll lay it all on there, get it lined up. So it'll be something like this, and we'll spread this out to make it look right. So something like that. All right. Ooh, progress. So with this magnet has a white front on it and just a magnet on the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on a carrier sheet and then lay it down. And I think for that what I want to do is some of this, you can use the carrier sheets from Cricut, but it's hard to get and it's expensive, so I've just been using, I've used this since the beginning. It's more economical, has great grid lines. So I need something in here. I'll flip it on the back and cut it. So then what I do is I am going to remove the backing. Try not to stick it to everything, but lay this down and then put my little new carrier sheet on top. So something like this. So now what I want to do is I'm going to actually use my grid here to help me. So I'm going to line it up so that I know that it's square on the table. So now when I lay this down, I'm going to try to line it up, and I will remove, I got to remove this backing, but I'm just trying to see. I think I want it to be down about like that. Okay, so then make sure it's on your carrier sheet good. It could be transfer tape, or like I'm using something different. And then you're going to try to get it to stay on your little carrier here. recut that U. Oh, there's one piece. I think I'm going to remake this one. This word. And it needs a little something. So, I'll figure out what else I can add to this. Alright, now I got all of our little pieces. So we want this along the top. Centered, and I'm using like the little seam on that sleeve to get it just right, just straight. And same thing down here. And our ship. I'm going to turn that around. Just doing that upside down. And I'm glad I did. I just want to move this just a smidge. Turn it off. Looks good. Want it to be cool to the touch. Don't let it set like a super long time, but just a little bit. I'm going to bring it back here. And we're going to give it some heat back here. 15 seconds like what we did on the front to prep it up. And then we'll start the big decals on the back. Okay. So there it is. Still has the carrier sheets on it, but we're going to let that set on there for just a minute. Looks really good though. And the way you know is when you touch it, it's not blazing hot. Okay, so now to do the back. And I am going to give myself a line. Won't interfere with my pocket. It's just to give me a line on the back. Just like 5 seconds or so. And boom, shakalaka, we got a little line there. And then I'm going to come down a couple inches. So we want it to start right about in there. So that's where we want wooden model ship. We need our little mat to be over a little more. And another thing you can do is to line up your tag with this little Cricut tag. That kind of helps too. Wrong way. Driving a boat. So there's our pocket down there. Right there is about our 2 inches. Yep. So all right. Cover it. And we'll start. Apply pressure again. Alright, once it's cooled down, it's super easy. It just peels right off. Scissor is lovely to work with. I really like working with this product. Really makes making these kind of items super simple. If it sticks a little bit, just give it a gentle. We're going to press it down. I kind of like to go over it an additional time. It's not necessarily called for in the directions, but I just find that my shirts last longer if I do. And I had already pulled that one off, sorry. I got all excited. I like how I twisted that. I may go back and fiddle with that magnet and see if we can do that on there. But what I do is once I get it to this stage, and I've already removed it, the backing from the pocket. So basically all I'm going to do now is put a piece of parchment over it, and I'm going to press it one more time just to sort of heat seal it. And normally I would do the front and the back, but being a two-sided product this time, it'll kind of like just do that on its own. Pulling that little collar up just to make it lay a little bit flatter, because I do see a little line, but it's about to go away because we're going to press it. And I'm feeling for little wrinkles. Since I moved that collar, I'm going to slide it down just a little bit. There we go. Cool. All right, I'm going to use 2 pieces to cover this. And this is just like the little bit of extra. Oh. go. I'm going to have to touch that up. All right. There we are. Boom shakalaka. I'm going to go and I'm just going to get this right here. Make sure I don't get it anywhere else, but I want to get it right there. All right. There we go. And there's the back. How about that? So I just made my husband's first merch. We'll let it cool down well before we go folding it or whatever. Probably get hung up. But there we are. Pleased with this one. I'm going to work on this magnet or it'll bother me. So, all right. We'll let this cool down and then I'll get my work surface back. Well, there we are. So I do like this different angle versus it being straight on. On this pocket, it worked. But on the back of the t-shirt and then for this magnet, I do like it better at an angle. It'll be very easy to read. And hopefully this magnet is made as a car, to be used as a car magnet. So hopefully all that will work out. So that's part of the little trial and error. Experiments along the way to see what works and what doesn't. So I like how these turned out. My husband likes them, which is the main point of it all. And well, we'll call this one a success. Maybe I can get him to model this for us so you can see what it looks like. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, would you please consider subscribing? And well, until next time, happy crafting!